Hey gang, welcome to, again, I'm changing the name from Uber Talks now to Kurtesy Talk. So, let's talk about race. I'm with a gentleman named Chris, and we're just going to talk. And again, I think I said this before in my other episodes, for us, people need to start talking, you know what? White people need to talk to black people need to talk to white people, we all need to talk to each other, we all just need to show love to one another. And I want to make sure, I think it's important, especially with Kurtesy Ride, is that everybody feels welcome in my car and everybody has a great experience in my car. And Chris is so kind to share his thoughts about questions that I'm going to ask him. And again, I just want to thank you, Chris. Yep, you're welcome. And then, so I just want to, so I guess the first question, we're just going to get right into the heart of it. So, Chris, I guess the first question is, he's a Chicago Bears fan, so that's, no, he's a Green Bay Packer fan, so, man, I almost dropped him off early, so, but on a serious note, so I guess the first thought is I've been asking everybody what their thoughts are. Black Lives Matter is important, they say it's important, which I understand. But what about, how do you feel when people say all lives matter?
Well, first of all, I'd like to start saying, black people, we know who we are, most of us, if we read and listen, and educate ourselves and inform ourselves. We know who we are as a race. I think that blacks have struggled the most out of all races, and we haven't gotten the credit. We've been beaten, enslaved, raped, murdered, and killed ever since we was born. And I believe that we do have a right to say Black Lives Matter. However, not everybody is the same. Not all whites are racist. I done ran into a lot of whites and they did many, many good deeds for me, and me being black. You teach your kids and you let them grow how you want them to be. I believe that if you teach your kids and you plant that negative seed in their head, they will become racist. I do believe it's how you teach and educate your kids and let them grow up to be how they want to be and experience that life on their own. I do believe all lives matter. The reason why I say that, Kurt, is because every life and soul counts to me. There's not just one specific soul. Yes, we've been the only race that's been going through it the most. Yes, we've been enslaved. But it doesn't give you a right to kill every single soul. Every soul is worth living for. And I believe, if somebody is not good, will you let them become that and deal with that on their own? So every life is worth living.
Now, I think another thing, though, too, is out there is, like, white privilege. Do you feel that there's thoughts, because some people, agree with white privilege, some people disagree with white privilege, black people agree with white, it says no, white privilege doesn't exist. What are your thoughts on, does that, to me, and that's just being honest, is, because again, we got to communicate and talk, that is dividing people even more and separating people even more when you have organizations, large nonprofit organizations talking about white privilege and companies and things like that. What are your thoughts on white privilege?
Well, let me tell you this. This is how smart my mom is. She's an old school mother, so she growing up in the 70s, it was racism going back there.
Where'd she grow up?
She grew up in Chicago.
Okay.
Born and raised from Chicago. Here's how my mom is so smart that she nicknamed all her kids names that would make us get jobs. So not your average black typical name. My name is Chris, for example.
Right.
And a lot of jobs have called me many, many times just on the simple fact how my name is.
Wow.
Now, yes, I do believe there is a such thing called white privilege. The way I said it is because the world we live in today, it is more superior and they cater more to the whites. However, us being a black man or being a black sister, we have to deprive ourselves from poverty and struggle more because we are black. Now, white people, I think that they get off easily because they're white. Like I said, our race plays a big part, a big role, and why we don't get a lot of things. I think a lot of things are stolen from us. But
Like
again,
what?
Kurt, I am going to say not all whites are racist.
Right.
It is unfair. It's the world we live in. But at the end of the day, judgment day will come.
Yeah.
It's not to us.
I
It's
asked
to
this.
fight fire with fire. So.
Yeah. Well, is there black privilege? So if I was in the black community and I was looking for a job in the black community, who would get the job more likely, a black person or a white person?
I think Kurt, probably. I don't know, because we can be racist to a certain extent.
Yeah.
And black people are racist, but like I said to Kurt earlier, guys, we have every right to be racist because the way that we show you,
Right.
We have every right. But yes, we are racist, and we're not proud of it. But I'm admitting that we are. I believe that there isn't a such thing called black privilege, because I believe a black person really wants to see race when it comes down to terms of matter.
Right. Awesome. And then another question is, because you talked about your mom, and I've been asking this question though too, is does your mom, or do you feel, since Martin Luther King said, do we judge, Martin Luther King said, don't judge a person by the color of his skin, but judge a person by his character, something like that. And did your mom feel, and do you feel that we're getting better within the last 50 years, or are we stagnant? Because you said something that I thought was really cool, is that we teach it to our kids, and that negative seed starts to sprout the tree. And so are we getting better? Are we staying the same, or are we getting worse?
Oh man, that's a good last tough question.
Yeah, last tough question. So, and I really appreciate that you're taking the time. So
I do believe that in the early years we were worse.
Yeah.
But guys, if you are a Christian like me and Kurt, we believe that there's more evil than good.
Amen.
And I believe that when it was worse, now we were stable in the beginning. You know, some different states have that racism, some different states don't. But I think in general, as a worldwide population, I think we are getting worse.
Worse.
I think we're falling off track, guys, because I think we was leveled out for a little bit, but now since they're killing us, I think we're becoming more corrupt. I think that we're having a negative decline of corruption.
And how do we get out of this decline? That's the last question.
How do we get out of this decline? Well, for the believers, all I have to say is believe in the Lord.
Yeah,
Have faith,
amen. Yeah.
Be a good person and try to live your life right.
Right.
And if you do that as one single person, you can change a whole bunch of lives.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. This is coming from Kurtesy Ride, and I want to thank you again, Chris, for taking the time to meet with us and just kind of and again, let's not be afraid to talk about race. The only way we're going to get better is talking. No more hiding. Just talk, and that's what we're doing. So again, I am the best Uber driver in the Twin Cities, and I just want to have everybody stay safe and sound out there. Thanks a lot, and God bless.